Today we will talk about strategic pricing methods and tactics. Organizations typically employ various methods and techniques for pricing, known as pricing strategies. Pricing strategies are important for businesses to determine how to set prices for their products or services. Let us explore these pricing strategies. 1. Cost-based pricing. This strategy involves setting prices based on the costs incurred in producing, manufacturing, and distributing a product, while adding a desired profit margin. There are two common types of cost-based pricing. A. Cost-plus pricing. In this approach, a percentage or fixed amount is added to the total cost of production to determine the selling price. For example, if a product costs $10 to produce and a 20% profit margin is desired, the selling price would be $12. P. Break-even pricing. With this method, the selling price is set to cover all the costs incurred in producing and selling the product, aiming to reach the break-even point where total revenue equals total costs. It does not include a specific profit margin. 2. Competition-based pricing. This strategy involves setting prices based on the prices charged by competitors. Companies may choose to price their products at the same level as competitors or set them lower to attract more customers. This approach is typically used for products that are similar to competitors' offerings and do not have significant differences in quality or advantages. 3. Value-based pricing. This approach focuses on determining prices based on the perceived value of the product or service to the customer. It involves assessing the benefits consumers expect to receive from the product and the sacrifices they are willing to make, such as price, time, effort, to acquire it. Companies using value-based pricing aim to capture a portion of the value they deliver to customers. This strategy is often used for products with unique features, high-quality offerings, or strong brand recognition. It's important to note that these pricing strategies are not mutually exclusive, and businesses may employ a combination of strategies based on their specific circumstances, market conditions, and product differentiation. Value-based pricing methods are employed by companies to determine prices based on the perceived value of their products or services to consumers. This approach recognizes that consumers assess the benefits they expect from a product and compare them with the sacrifices they need to make to obtain it. A couple of key approaches used in value-based pricing are the improvement value method and the cost of ownership method. With the improvement value method, managers estimate how much more or less consumers are willing to pay for a product compared to similar alternatives. This estimation is based on the perceived improvement in features, performance, or innovation offered by the product. On the other hand, the cost of ownership method evaluates the total cost of owning a product over its useful life. This includes not only the initial purchase price, but also ongoing costs, such as maintenance and repairs. By comparing the cost of ownership between different products, consumers may be willing to pay more for a product that offers cost savings in the long run. In the context of imitation products versus original products, applying the cost of ownership method becomes relevant. While imitation products may have a lower price, original products may offer a longer lifespan and lower maintenance costs. This can make the overall cost of owning an original product lower than that of an imitation product, despite the initial price difference. By utilizing value-based pricing methods, companies can align their prices with the perceived value of their products. This enables them to effectively compete in the market by offering products that customers consider worthwhile investments based on the benefits they provide and the costs associated with them. Okay, as you see, this table demonstrates how companies can use the improvement value concept to assess the perceived benefits of a new product. In this example, a telecommunications company has developed a new cell phone and conducted consumer surveys to assess its performance compared to an existing product. The consumers were asked to evaluate the new cell phone on 5 dimensions: clarity, range, security, battery life, and ease of use. According to the survey results, the consumers indicated that the new cell phone has 20% more clarity than the comparison phone. This means that they perceive the new phone to have better clarity than the existing product. Additionally, the consumers were asked to allocate 100 points among the 5 attributes to indicate their relative importance. For the clarity dimension, they assigned a weight of 0.40. This suggests that clarity is considered an important factor by the consumers in their evaluation of cell phones. By gathering this information, the telecommunications company can use the improvement value method to estimate how much more consumers would be willing to pay for the new cell phone compared to the existing product. The perceived improvement in clarity, along with the assigned weight of importance, can be taken into account when determining the pricing strategy for the new product. Also, among pricing strategies, we have everyday low pricing, EDLP, and high or low pricing. Everyday low pricing is a pricing strategy where a retailer consistently offers low prices on all products without the need for frequent sales or price promotions. With EDLP, the store sets fair prices and maintains them for an extended period, usually until there are substantial changes in costs. The main objective of EDLP is to provide customers with consistently low prices throughout the year, eliminating the need for seasonal discounts or sales promotions. By reducing prices on a daily basis and keeping them lower than competitors' prices, the retailer aims to attract customers who value affordability and price stability. In contrast, the high or low pricing strategy involves periodic sales promotions where prices are temporarily reduced to encourage purchases. This strategy relies on creating a sense of urgency and excitement among customers by offering limited time discounts or special deals. The regular prices in a high/low pricing strategy are often higher than in an EDLP approach, with the expectation that customers will be enticed by the lower promotional prices. Both strategies have their advantages and considerations. EDLP simplifies pricing for customers, offering them consistent low prices without the need to wait for sales events. It also helps create an image of affordability and value for the retailer. On the other hand, the high/low pricing strategy can generate excitement and attract customers during promotional periods, potentially leading to increased sales volumes. Retailers choose between these strategies based on their target market, competition, and overall business goals. Some may opt for EDLP to establish a reputation for affordability and compete on price, while others may prefer the high/low approach to create excitement and leverage sales events to drive customer traffic and purchases. Okay. High or low pricing strategies often involve the use of reference prices to influence buyer behavior and facilitate the evaluation process. Reference prices serve as points of comparison for customers when assessing the actual selling price of a product and its sale price. There are 2 types of reference prices: internal reference price and external reference price. 1. Internal reference price. The internal reference price is the price that customers believe or expect a product should cost based on their past experiences or knowledge about the product. It is an individual's internal benchmark for what they consider a reasonable or fair price for a particular item. For example, if a customer has regularly purchased a specific brand of shoes for $100 in the past, their internal reference price for similar shoes would be around $100. This internal price perception influences their evaluation of whether the current selling price or sale price is a good deal or not. 2. External reference price. The external reference price is provided to customers by the seller to influence their purchasing decisions. It is a price point communicated to customers through various means, such as advertisements, signs, or labels, to shape their perception of value. For instance, a store might display a sign indicating the previous price of a product, like $200, crossed out, and the current sale price, like $150, next to it. The purpose of such communication is to create a contrast between the higher external reference price and the lower sale price, making the discounted price appear more attractive to customers. Both internal and external reference prices play a role in the evaluation process of customers. The internal reference price is based on their personal expectations, experiences, and knowledge, while the external reference price is strategically provided by the seller to influence customer decisions and create a perception of value. By utilizing reference prices effectively, sellers can shape customer perceptions, highlight discounts, and encourage purchases based on the perceived value of the product. Developing pricing strategies for new products can indeed be a challenging task for managers, especially when the product is completely innovative or new to the world. In such cases, determining consumers' perceptions of the product's value and pricing it accordingly becomes more difficult. However, there are two distinct new product pricing strategies that can be employed: penetration pricing and price skimming. 1. Penetration pricing. Penetration pricing involves setting the initial price of the new product or service relatively low. The objective of this strategy is to quickly build sales, capture market share, and generate profits while deterring potential competitors from entering the market. By offering a low penetration price, companies aim to incentivize customers to purchase the product immediately, taking advantage of the absence of direct competition. This strategy often relies on mass production and economies of scale, which can help reduce the cost of producing each unit and enable the lower price point. 2. Price skimming. Price skimming is typically employed for new and innovative products, particularly in industries like technology. In this strategy, companies initially offer the new product at a high price to target customers who are eager to purchase the latest and most advanced products. This approach capitalizes on the segment of the market that values being early adopters and are willing to pay a premium for the latest technology or innovation. Over time, as the market becomes more saturated or competition intensifies, the company gradually lowers the price to appeal to a broader customer base and maintain sales momentum. When selling directly to consumers, firms employ various pricing tactics to attract and retain customers. Some of these tactics include mock-downs, quantity discounts, seasonal discounts, coupons, and rebates. Let us take a look at each tactic. 1. Mock-downs. Retailers lower the prices of goods to sell them at a discount. Markdowns are often used to clear out old inventory or promote sales. By reducing prices, retailers aim to attract customers and avoid negative effects on their reputation caused by keeping outdated products in stock. 2. Quantity discounts for consumers. Manufacturers offer quantity discounts to consumers, where the cost per unit decreases as the quantity purchased increases. The goal is to encourage consumers to buy larger quantities each time, leading to increased consumption and brand loyalty. By offering quantity discounts, manufacturers incentivize customers to make larger purchases, potentially reducing the likelihood of switching brands. 3. Seasonal discounts. Seasonal discounts are price reductions offered to consumers during off-peak seasons to stimulate demand. For example, hotels may lower their prices during non-peak periods to attract customers. By offering seasonal discounts, businesses aim to fill capacity during slower periods and encourage consumer spending. 4. Coupons. Coupons provide discounts on specific items when purchased. They are issued by manufacturers and retailers through newspapers, magazines, or online platforms. Retailers use coupons to encourage customers to try products, convert first-time users into regular customers, drive large purchases, increase product usage, and protect market share from competitors. 5. Rebates. Rebates offer discounts to consumers by refunding a portion of the purchase price. In this case, the manufacturer issues the refund directly to the buyer in the form of cash or a rebate check. Rebates incentivize customers to make purchases by providing a financial incentive to buy the product. Another pricing tactics aimed at consumers. Let's discuss them in more detail. 1. Leasing or rentals. With leasing or rentals, consumers pay a fee to gain the right to use a product for a specific period, but they do not own the product. This tactic is commonly used for products that have a high upfront cost or are used for a limited time. Leasing allows consumers to access the product without the commitment of ownership, providing flexibility and affordability. 2. Price bundling. Price bundling involves offering multiple products or services together at a lower price compared to purchasing them separately. The purpose of bundling is to incentivize customers to buy a package deal instead of individual items. By offering a lower overall price for the bundle, companies can increase sales, attract customers, and discourage them from seeking alternatives from competitors. 3. Loss leaders. This tactic involves selling certain products below their cost price to attract customers and motivate them to make additional purchases. The idea is that customers who come for the heavily discounted item will end up buying other products with higher profit margins, ultimately generating profits for the business. Loss leaders are used strategically to drive traffic and create opportunities for upselling or cross-selling. 4. Price lining. Price lining is the practice of releasing multiple versions of the same product or service at different price points. By offering different price options, companies cater to different customer segments and their willingness to pay. Price lining can create the perception that higher-priced options are of higher quality, appealing to customers seeking premium products. However, the success of price lining depends on various factors and may not be suitable for every product or service. A host of laws and regulations at both the federal and state levels attempt to prevent unfair pricing practices, but some are poorly enforced and others are difficult to prove. We will discuss these pricing practices in some detail. When it comes to price advertisements, specific claims need to be accurate and not deceptive. Claiming to have the lowest prices guaranteed is a specific claim that can be considered deceptive if it is not true. This type of claim can mislead consumers and potentially cause harm. Deceptive reference prices are another area of concern. Reference prices are used to create a reference point for consumers to compare the selling price. If a reference price is inflated or fictitious, it is considered deceptive because it misleads consumers. Determining whether a reference price is bona fide, genuine, can be challenging. The criteria for a regular price may vary, but one guideline suggested by the Better Business Bureau is that at least 50% of the sales should have occurred at that price for it to be considered a regular price. Loss leader pricing is a legitimate tactic where a store aggressively prices and advertises a regularly purchased item, sometimes at or just above the store's cost. Loss leader pricing goes a step further by setting the price below the store's cost. While this tactic can attract customers, it may not generate enough revenue to cover the store's cost for the item. Some states consider this type of pricing illegal. Bait and switch is another deceptive pricing practice. It occurs when sellers advertise an item at a very low price with no intention of selling it, aiming to lure customers into purchasing a higher-priced alternative. The key to proving deception in bait and switch cases is establishing the intent of the seller, which can be challenging. Also, we have predatory pricing. Predatory pricing refers to the practice of setting very low prices to drive competitors out of business or deter new entrants, which is illegal under the Sherman Antitrust Act and the Federal Trade Commission Act. It often results in market concentration, leading to an oligopoly. Proving predatory pricing is difficult, requiring evidence of intent to eliminate competition and prices below average cost. An example involving a lawsuit against Uber illustrates this issue, with the taxi company accusing Uber of using predatory pricing tactics. Uber defended itself by claiming that traditional taxis weren't its primary competition and that their services actually lower costs. Ultimately, cases of predatory pricing necessitate thorough examination by regulatory authorities and courts to ensure fair competition. Price discrimination can take various forms, and not all forms of price discrimination are considered illegal under the Clayton Act and the Robinson-Patman Act. Price discrimination refers to the practice of selling the same product to different customers or resellers at different prices. Quantity discounts, where different prices are charged based on the quantity purchased, are generally considered a legitimate form of price discrimination. It is commonly accepted that selling and servicing a larger quantity to a single customer can result in lower costs per unit, as long as quantity discounts are available to all customers and are not structured in a way that unfairly favors specific buyers. They are considered legal. The Robinson-Patman Act primarily applies to sales between manufacturers, wholesalers, and retailers, and it prohibits price discrimination that harms competition. However, the Act does not apply to sales to end consumers. Therefore, price discrimination that occurs when offering discounts to specific consumer groups, such as students or seniors, is generally acceptable under federal law. Similarly, in online auctions like eBay, sellers have the freedom to sell the same item to different buyers at varying prices, which is also considered legal price discrimination. It is important to note that while certain forms of price discrimination are legal, there are still regulations in place to prevent anti-competitive behavior, and ensure fair market practices. Pricing strategies must comply with applicable laws and avoid unfair practices that harm competition or consumers' interests. Price fixing refers to the practice of colluding with other firms to manipulate or control prices in a way that reduces competition. It can be categorized as either horizontal or vertical price fixing. Horizontal price fixing occurs when competitors who produce and sell similar products or services collaborate to set prices collectively, removing price competition from the market. This practice is considered illegal under the Sherman Antitrust Act, as it significantly hampers competition. An example of horizontal price fixing is the accusation against 18 pharmaceutical companies for colluding to fix prices of generic medicines, such as antibiotics. Such collusion restricts competition and harms consumers. As a general rule, competing firms should avoid discussions with competitors regarding prices or terms and conditions of sale. Instead, they can gather information about competitors' prices through public sources like advertisements, websites, or physical stores. Vertical price fixing, on the other hand, occurs when parties at different levels of the same marketing channel, such as manufacturers and retailers, agree to control the prices passed on to consumers. Manufacturers may set a suggested retail price, MSRP, to minimize price competition among retailers, incentivize complementary services, and support their merchandise. Under federal law, manufacturers can enforce MSRPs through take-it-or-leave-it policies. Retailers can choose to sell products above or below the MSRP, while manufacturers can refuse to deal with retailers who do not comply. However, state laws may have variations in regulations, and all manufacturer-imposed pricing programs are evaluated on a case-by-case basis. Instances of vertical price fixing have been seen in cases involving Apple and publishing agencies, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. These legal examples demonstrate that pricing decisions involve ethical considerations. Marketers must strike a balance between inducing customers to find value through pricing and maintaining fairness and honesty in their dealings. Pricing strategies and tactics should be carefully considered to benefit both the seller and the buyer while upholding the principles of fair competition and consumer welfare. Last one is grey market pricing. Grey market activities involve legally bypassing authorized distribution channels to sell goods at lower prices, potentially undermining the manufacturer's intended pricing structure. Retailers may opt to sell excess inventory to unauthorized discount dealers, leading to short-term gains, but potentially damaging the manufacturer's reputation if the discount dealers fail to provide adequate support. Manufacturers implement various strategies to discourage grey market distribution. One method is to include disclaimers informing consumers that warranties are only valid for purchases from authorized dealers, encouraging consumers to buy through authorized channels for warranty support. Another approach is to equalize prices globally to minimize price differentials that incentivize grey market sales. Managing grey market pricing channels presents challenges for manufacturers, requiring a combination of contractual agreements, pricing strategies, and communication efforts to protect their brand image, ensure consistent customer experiences, and maintain control over distribution networks.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.